Hillary Banks.
Hey, Hillary.
You know, you look much richer in person.
Do you remember when Trump announced that he wanted to buy Greenland? It was a move that sent the world into a fit of laughter. At first, people thought it was just another insane tabloid from a power-hungry president.
That's enough. Put down the mic.
But let me let you in on a little secret. In Trump's game, madness is the ultimate distraction. While news outlets were busy analyzing an Arctic Game of Thrones, Trump was busy rattling the stock markets, spiking gold, manipulating oil, and making sure his inner circle cleaned up while everyone else watched TikTok videos of Greenlanders acting like Americans. But that was just the warm-up. The real play?
Donald Trump claims the US, Denmark, and Greenland will reach an Arctic security deal.
This is Jared Kushner, Donald Trump's golden boy son-in-law. He served as Trump's senior advisor in his previous term and had to take over his family's company after his father became a convicted felon. However, he was pardoned by Trump in 2020. February 15th, 2024. At a Harvard University event, Jared Kushner described the waterfront property on the Gaza Strip as valuable.
In Gaza's waterfront property, it could be very valuable to, if people would focus on kind of building up, livelihoods.
In the face of the Israel-Hamas war, he also said,
It's a little bit of an unfortunate situation there, but I think from Israel's perspective, I would do my best to move the people out and then clean it up. I'm not sure there's much left of Gaza at this point.
Cut to Davos, January 2026, the billionaire's playground. While Trump is out there making noise about Greenland, his golden boy son-in-law, Jared Kushner, is quietly working the room.
How do you implement peace? And as you guys know, peace is a different deal than a business deal because you're changing a mindset.
This is the guy who rebranded global diplomacy into a high-stakes real estate flip. He doesn't see countries, he sees assets. And get this, he's been sketching a new blueprint. One that isn't built on ice, but on the smoldering ashes of the Gaza Strip. Think about it. We see Gaza on the news as a pile of rubble and a humanitarian crisis. But through Kushner's eyes, he's looking at the cheapest Mediterranean beachfront on the planet. His master plan, New Gaza, or as he calls it, the Riviera of the Mediterranean, is a $100 billion bet to pave over the graveyard with skyscrapers, luxury casinos, and smart cities.
And this is for the people of Gaza. We've developed it into zones.
There's just one catch. You have to scrub the original inhabitants out of the picture. Scrubbing history clean. Just like the marble floors of the Trump Tower.
After that, going hot 105.
This is the most sophisticated heist of the century. Kushner doesn't need a rifle. He uses capital. He's giving Palestinians a Godfather-style offer they can't refuse.
I'm gonna make them an offer they can't refuse.
Take this payout and go be cheap labor for some foreign resort or vanish into the wreckage. It's Colonialism 101, dressed in a bespoke suit. Gaza is one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities in the Eastern Mediterranean, with settlement dating back over 5,000 years. Because of its location, it became a key crossroads between Egypt, the Levant, and Mediterranean trade routes. It was first inhabited by Canaanites, later ruled by Egyptians, and became a major Philistine city around the 12th century BCE. Over time, Gaza passed through the control of many empires, including Persian, Greek, Roman, Byzantine, and Islamic rulers, and later the Ottomans. In the modern era, Gaza's population grew dramatically after 1948, when large numbers of Palestinian refugees fled or were expelled into the territory. Egypt governed Gaza until 1967. Israel occupied it afterward, withdrew in 2005, and Hamas took control in 2007. After Hamas took control of Gaza in 2007, Israel and Egypt imposed a blockade, restricting movement of people and goods. Since then, Gaza has experienced repeated cycles of conflict between Hamas and Israel, including major wars and periodic escalations. These conflicts have caused widespread destruction and a severe humanitarian crisis, with shortages of electricity, clean water, and medical supplies. Governance in Gaza has remained separate from the Palestinian Authority in the West Bank, while ceasefires, aid efforts, and diplomatic talks have repeatedly tried and failed to produce a lasting political solution.
Fast forward to January 2026.
Davos. Jared Kushner announces his plan to turn demolished homes into shareholder dividends for American investors and Arab billionaires shaking hands behind closed doors. Don't believe this is happening? Think this is all a wild conspiracy? What you need to remember, the Trump family signature is legitimizing the illegal.
Hezbollah continued to make the Golan Heights a potential launching ground for attacks against Israel.
Let's take a look at Trump Heights in Golan Heights, Syria. In 2019, during the first Trump administration, the United States became the first and only country to recognize Golan Heights as part of Israel. No other UN country has recognized Israeli rule over the territory, and it remains as Israeli-occupied Syrian land for the international community. But that was just the pilot program. They perform a coup de map. They just delete a border, relabel it as a real estate project. And if a superpower like the US signs off on it, suddenly international law doesn't mean Kushner's new Gaza will work. But what if Gaza were just a prototype? Here's the playbook of powerful nations. Step 1. Prototype. International law ceases to exist. Tens of thousands of deaths equals government profits. Step 2. Profit. Today, it's Gaza. But tomorrow, if the land under your house suddenly becomes valuable and some superpower decides it's a special economic zone, you might be the next one heading to a refugee camp to make room for a casino.
And if we believe that peace is possible, then peace really can be possible.
Step 3. Power.
Good shots.
We've had a decent run of peace since World War II. Or at least some version of it.
This land is your land, and this land is my land. California, New York Island, Redwood Forest, Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me.
Breaking news, major protests across the U.S. playing out at this hour. Demonstrations.
I can't breathe. And agents tackling him to the ground.
No work, no school, no shopping.
But it's just Donald Trump, the reality show celebrity. He'll never actually become president of the greatest nation on earth, right? He'll never really build a new Gaza over massacred bodies, right? Not if we can stop it. Subscribe now for world peace. Jibber Jab.